Hi, this is Teacher Jennifer from US Citizenship Podcast. Happy President's Week. I'm here in Chicago visiting my grandmother. This podcast is divided into 4 parts. Each question will be about one of the presidents, and the podcast is divided into questions from the executive branch, the Federalist period, the 1800s, and recent history. Let's get started. The executive branch. Question 1. The Chief Justice is in charge of the judicial branch. Question. Who is in charge of the executive branch? Question 2. President Franklin D. Roosevelt was elected to 4 terms and served for 13 years. Question. We elect a president for how many years? Question 3. Voting is a right and a responsibility. Only U.S. citizens can vote in federal elections. Question. In what month do we vote for president? Question 4. There have been 44 U.S. presidents before this current president. Question. What is the name of the President of the United States now? Question 5. John Adams was the first Vice President. Question. What is the name of the Vice President of the United States now? Question 6. After President John F. Kennedy was assassinated, Lyndon B. Johnson became the president. Question. If the president can no longer serve, who becomes president? Question 7. Gerald Ford was the House Minority Leader, but he became president after both Vice President Agnew and President Nixon resigned. Question. If both the president and the vice president can no longer serve, who becomes president? Question 8. Before he became president, Washington was the first commander-in-chief of the Continental Army. Question. Who is the commander-in-chief of the military now? Question 9. Congress makes federal laws. Question. Who signs bills to become laws? Question 10. The Senate and the House Representatives pass bills to make laws. Question. Who vetoes bills? Question 11. The judicial branch explains laws. Question. What does the President's cabinet do? The Federalist period. Question 12. Thomas Jefferson and Alexander Hamilton served in the first cabinet. Question. What are 2 cabinet-level positions? Question 13. When the first president was elected, there were no political parties. Question. What is the political party of the president now? Question 14. Before he became the first president, General George Washington led the American colonists in the Continental Army. Question. Why did the colonists fight the British? Question 15. Question 15. Before this person became the 3rd president, he wrote the Declaration of Independence. Question. Who wrote the Declaration of Independence? Question 16. Before they became U.S. presidents, John Adams and Thomas Jefferson signed the Declaration of Independence? Question: when was the Declaration of Independence adopted? Question 17. Before he became the first president, Washington presided over the Constitutional Convention. Question: what happened at the Constitutional Convention? Question 18. Before he became the president, James Madison was the lead writer of the U.S. Constitution. Question: when was the Constitution written? Question 19. The Federalist Papers supported the passage of the U.S. Constitution. Before he became president, this man helped write the Federalist Papers. Question: name one writer of the Federalist Papers. Question 20. He led the Army during the Revolutionary War, led the representatives during the Constitutional Convention, and led the country as our first president. Question: who is the father of our country? President's Day Quiz, Part C, 1800s. Question 21. Our nation's capital and estate are named in his honor. Question: who was the first president? Question 22. President Thomas Jefferson greatly expanded the size of the United States. Question: what territory did the United States buy from France in 1803? Question 23. The United States fought 4 major wars during the 1800s. Question: name one war fought by the United States in the 1800s. Question 24. President James Madison led the U.S. during the War of 1812. Francis Scott Key wrote a song about the American flag still flying after a battle between the British and the Americans. This song became the national anthem. Question: what is the name of the national anthem? Question 25. After the Mexican-American War, President James Polk got land from Mexico. Question: name one state that borders Mexico. Question 26. In 1861, after the election of Lincoln, 11 Southern states left the Union to form the Confederacy. Question: name the U.S. war between the North and the South. Question 27. The North and the South disagreed on many issues. Question: name one problem that led to the Civil War. Question 28. Lincoln was president from 1861 to 1865. Question: what is one important thing Abraham Lincoln did? Question 29. From 1620 to 1808, Africans were taken to America and sold as slaves. Question: what did the Emancipation Proclamation do? Question 30. After the Spanish-American War in 1898, President William McKinley got land from Spain. Question: name one U.S. territory. President's Day Quiz Part D, Recent U.S. History. Question 31. The United States fought 5 major wars during the 1900s. Question: name one war fought by the United States in the 1900s. Question 32. Susan B. Anthony fought for women's rights, but died in 1906 before women won the right to vote. In 1920, President Wilson signed the 19th Amendment, which says people can vote. Question: there are 4 amendments that talk about who can vote. Name one amendment. Question 33. World War I began in Europe and quickly spread. Question: who was president during World War I? Question 34. In 1929, the New York stock market crashed, which caused terrible economic problems in the United States and Europe. Question: who was the president during the Great Depression and World War II? Question 35. In 1952, President-elect Dwight D. Eisenhower went to Korea to learn what might end the Korean War. Question: before he was president, Eisenhower was a general. What war was he in? Question 36. The Cold War began with the Berlin blockade under Truman in 1948 and ended with the fall of the Berlin Wall under Reagan in 1989. Question: during the Cold War, what was the main concern of the United States? Question 37. Presidents Kennedy, Johnson, and Nixon sent American troops to Southeast Asia. Name one war fought by the United States in the 1900s. Question 38. During the 1950s and the 1960s, people struggled for equal rights. Martin Luther King Jr. and many others worked for equality and fought for civil rights, which led President Lyndon B. Johnson to sign the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Question: what movement tried to end racial discrimination? Question 39. President Richard Nixon signed the 26th Amendment granting voting rights to younger Americans. Question: how old do U.S. citizens have to be to vote? Question 40. In 1990, Iraq invaded Kuwait. President H.W. Bush sent U.S. troops to liberate Kuwait and protect Saudi Arabia in the following war. Question: name one war fought by the United States in the 1900s. Question 41. What major event happened on September 11, 2001 in the United States, which compelled President George W. Bush to send U.S. troops to Iraq and Afghanistan? Question 42. Name 2 national U.S. holidays. Thanks to the students and staff of Milpitas Adult School. Please visit us on the web at uscitizenpod.com. Thanks for listening. I know you will be a great American citizen. Happy President's Day. Bye-bye.